What's going on? It's Gemini. I'm here with James, Julian, and we are really excited to break down our track, Focus.
Intuition, tunnel vision, don't wanna focus on you now, cause then I'd have to blur you. There's no version of us that wouldn't fade away somehow. Focus on you.
Yeah, before we get started, I think, what was some of the vision? You pitched me a really cool idea, so I wanted to start on how we started this track. And this was the first one of our second EP for the year, and so what kind of inspired the vibe for this, and then how did it evolve?
Yeah, I remember I was listening to a bunch of the 2016 album Purpose, Justin Bieber, and I was like, oh my god, this sounds like still so good and so fresh and so just good songwriting, good production, and I could just hear us doing something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like we need to bring back that like EDM pop sound with a little R&B sprinkled in, and that could be like our next direction.
Totally. Yeah, and I love the Purpose album so much, and been a big fan of Bieber, and I think that was like a really cool evolution in his career. And so I felt the same way. That the reason why this EP is called Junction is because it's like at this really cool junction point in the year where it's really marking the start of part two, the second half of the year. And so to be able to have that with something as big and as different and as I would say bold as this is, I think was really just a super cool moment to have in time, and I'm so proud of this song. So I think one of those key elements that might be a cool first thing to break down, actually, before we even dive into like other elements of the instrumental. We did it at one time when we were looking back, but the actual vocal sample, starting with that, when Bieber and the guys did their breakdown, that was really cool.
Yeah.
So like with the vocal chop that we had, and how it went from like how we had it just my raw humming sound to then where we got it now, I think that might be a really cool recognizable way to kick this off.
That was the whole idea. A part of the sound of that album, I think, was all the crazy like vocal chops and like the way they messed with vocals so much that you almost didn't like know it was a vocal anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we need to do something like that. Like that's like super fun, where it's like you make a melody by like making it almost like a synthesizer out of the voice, like just putting it through so many things.
Right.
So that's the sped up chop dry. It's this guy right here that we messed with.
Ah, nice.
So if we look at this, actually, it was originally a longer phrase. And the first part of it just was like the right vibe to keep the consistent sound of it.
Yeah.
And this was just something that you were humming while trying to come up with ideas for the melody.
Right.
As soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, let me do something with this. And I really liked that. And then we just got a completely different melody that's not even part of the same take, just chopped together to make like a new melody. And we actually tried singing it again to try to make it sound cooler, but it just didn't sound as good. So we're like, no, we have to use the demo where you almost like there's like no real words and no syllables.
Right.
And it was just so much harder putting it to like something that like wasn't meant to be like sung exactly and messing with it. And so then just pitching it up a whole bunch, classic. There's even some funny glitches in there that kind of add some character when we stretched it out, like some weird stutters that are like part of it. I'm like, okay, let's make it dirty as heck. Put some super intense distortion on it. And then I'm like, okay, now let's put it in a different space so you can't really hear that it's a human anymore. And I'm like, oh, now we're starting to get the sauce.
Serious sauce, bro.
And then another reverb that's probably for a longer tail. Yeah.
Yep.
Just helps it feel lengthened. And then some super, super intense compression that just makes it super pop in the mix. Brings out the distortion even more.
Crazy.
And then the last phase of that, I think, is just this LFO tool, which just makes it pump with the bass drum.
That's right. Oh, so good.
So that's like what's happening in the chorus. The beginning one is like almost the same.
It's a little more chill.
But there's less effects. You see there's like 10 different things on here or whatever. And there's just 3 on this one. It's more like
Spacey.
Intimate. You can tell it's kind of a human voice.
Mm-hmm. Cool way to start
the difference
record.
of like teasing like that's gonna happen later.
Yep.
But like then it gets here and it's like, so it just like really smacks you. It's just like, oh, I know that.
Yeah.
That melody.
Yeah, that's the vocal sample. That was a really fun and very memorable part that you hear this record and it feels kind of one of those like timeless things that anybody could hum or sing to themselves, and then you're just like, oh, you know exactly what that is.
Because that's literally what it is. Like you humming a little thing, and now it's in there forever.
Yeah, we really built that around then those initial synth chords that you did, and so I think that now kind of breaking down all the elements of the instrumental would be really sick.
Yeah, the first thing I did was like sitting at the keyboard. I said, because we started a lot of the songs on guitar, or like a piano sound or a drum beat. This one we gotta have like the sounds, right? Like we gotta have things that feel like very textured, very intentional.
Yeah.
And so the first thing I played was like this chords, and I like looked for a bunch of different keys, and I found this serum patch that like had the right sauce on it. It's just like a preset of a Juno. And then this is the original sound without the LFO tool on it. This has a really nice tail and also a really nice attack where it's like, it's not like bum, but it's like wum, almost.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of information in there that just feels like, oh, this transports me to like a world that like something's gonna happen.
Totally.
And then also just adding that sidechain thing again, just now you have rhythm, you can already feel where the kick drum's gonna be. You get those little dips. And so you're like, oh, even though there's no bass or kick yet, you start to feel like where the rhythm's gonna like go. So I really like using things like that. And then that's like the foundation. And by then I'm just like, okay, loop that. And now you're writing, coming up with melodies.
It was so
these different things to do.
It was so cool how this was like a race where how quickly those instant melodies. I remember like had that first, basically where the chorus came from was the first thing that came to my mind was, and then you instantly were just like, dude, yes, that's it, but what if instead of you saying it, like we just take it, we chop it, kind of glitch it out, and then that's like the hook melody. That's really good. I was like, all right, cool.
So we had like all of the ideas, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna get to there, and just like kind of building it.
Yeah.
And then when we finally got there, we knew exactly like what we were gonna do. Yeah, I'll just go like through kind of just in how the song progresses and like see what happens. Just instrumentally, I won't have any of none of the leads in yet.
Yeah.
And just kind of give it a lot of the stuff that happens in this verse I think was kind of later actually.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's very
just
simple on the synth,
and the voice.
Wow.
And then we bring in a riser right before this pre.
So good.
Yeah, so that's like this is some of the stuff that probably came in like the last. Like I don't think we had all this. This was like just adding those textures.
Right.
We have like this backward vocal reverb swell that leads into I think a bird sound. Yeah. And then I wanted all these big, like, hypey vocals, right? We talked about, like, kind of the reggaeton influence in that album, like, all the and things like that. I'm like, I want that all over this.
Same, man.
Like,
that
so
was
it's
so
just,
good.
like, finding a bunch of, like, sounds that felt, like, weird and that, you wouldn't typically want to use.
Right.
I was like, oh yeah, that's it. Some really weird high bird call.
Yeah.
Different pieces like that. And then we bring in the kick drum, which I really like this. The idea that the kick is coming in on all the offbeats until the beginning of the next section. It kind of like throws your body where you're not expecting it, but like it comes in such a cool way, I feel like.
Oh yeah.
So all of the synth hits and the kicks are on the offbeats. And then you get finally the dance. So it just adds that little extra excitement of where it's gonna go. And then all these little risers just build all this attention to like going somewhere and then like really focus in the attention on just the vocals. That's exactly what we wanted to do, is really make the music complement what the lyrics were saying and like take you on like a journey. This sounds like what you're singing about. All the different chaotic feelings and then like really focusing in on what the main thing is. So lots of things like that in there. And then we have kind of like you call it like a re-space or a sub-bass with just a little bit of side chain on it. because we like the pumps. It's just a little serum patch. Yeah, and that's everything in the verse so far.
I think before jumping into the chorus here, it's worth noting while you have your Spider-Man shirt on that this whole idea came from strong focus on what I want.
Yes, the classic scene in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, when he's getting ready to, he's trying to get back to being Spidey. As jokingly as we said it, it was very real to when you asked me, like, what do you want to write about? And the whole concept was just like, man, like, there's so many people around me who are in happy relationships and people getting married and all these things happening, and I'm just like so locked in on this year, and I know that if I do it right and stay focused on what I'm doing, I'll be able to make those leaps in my career and my life that I really want to make.
Yeah.
And I need to stay focused. As much as I would love a distraction, quote unquote, and having like a great relationship, I know myself, and I know that would derail me from doing what I want to do with this ridiculous pace of a song a week and all these things. So I was like, man, even if it's just for the second half of this year and finishing this out, I need to stay focused. I can't focus on whoever this potential partner might be, but knowing that delayed gratification will lead to something great. And I think that this song is a very clear manifestation of that in real time as well. Subject matter, but also like reality to my life, and like a lot of what we're working on collaboratively too. It's been cool to narrow that focus and to have a record that mirrors that as well.
Totally. I think we nailed it on just the concept that we were going for, and like really telling this story of like really focusing on the important things, but being like, not now, not yet, not ready for that at some point. Like, I don't want to lose all the focus and like for this one instant gratification, like you were saying.
Right,
so
right.
I feel like we nailed that, and then just the music really supporting those ideas of like making you pay attention during the right words and sections and
exactly
things like that. This is where the fun begins. It felt longer than it was, I know, but I felt like I was sitting there trying to come up. I was like, okay, now we just need like the sickest bass line ever. Yeah. I was dancing around things that were very similar to what I landed on. I was like playing, okay, this is too busy. This is like not busy enough.
Yeah.
And I just jammed it a whole bunch of times. And this is all like I actually played it, not wrote in the MIDI, but I sat on the keyboard and like with the bass patch.
It's crazy.
Just over this section here, I was like, we need to do the Charlie Puth, the anti-drop. It's like a tension kind of vibe where everything like sucks in and it's just the bass and the kick, and then like a sick vocal
so good
line. So yeah, this is the bass with the bass line. Sounds like a kick drum.
Crazy,
and then we give it to him. Hit him with the. So that I'll break down the tones there.
Yes,
so
please do.
Synth bass, serum synth bass with that. Yep. I went more extreme with the sidechain because I wanted really that dance feeling.
Yeah.
So it's kind of very kind of cheesy. I don't know, Moog sounding bass, Moog, however you like to say it.
Yep.
And then with that, I was like, okay, now I need like the attack. I always like to have a bass that's a little more subby and then a bass that has a little more attack on it. I have this Trillion bass that is more so like the live sounding bass. And you don't really hear this, but it adds so much top end to when you're listening back to this. You just get so much more information about the notes I'm playing. And then you throw back on those little side chains.
So good.
Just a lot of like pumping energy in that. The last thing that I did on the bass was in the chorus, I have this bass plugin. It's like a distortion for bass, like a preamp for bass. So only when the chorus hits, I bring this in. So as you can see the automation here, like I'm just rising it in slowly as it comes. And then when the chorus hits, you get like this gritty sound that cuts through all of the synths that we added.
Amazing.
So I'll just play that back so you kind of hear how that comes in and what that feels like. The silence.
There we go.
Get that little grate.
Little greedy.
Just dirty.
So good.
I think I was really thinking of that Into You, the Ariana Grande Max Martin song. Dun, 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 dun. It has like that gritty layer, and I was like, I want that kind of like feeling to cut. Like you wouldn't really hear how distorted it is in the context, but it cuts.
Yep.
Without it. It's like, no, it's not it. I feel like it's these little things that just like bring up the feeling of like excitement.
Absolutely.
In the mix there.
Yeah,
so,
man. Wow.
That gets us to the first chorus where we can like start to look at some of the drum layers and the other synths. Nothing really special here. A couple of pads to help the energy.
Yeah, for just this bigger chorus feel. That was huge.
You know what?
Dude.
This might have been one of the first things that we started. Now I'm like hearing that.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that being in there.
Right.
And I think it's because that was one of the first ideas. We wanted to keep it more simple for the verse sections. So we have.
And then, but yeah, we tucked it and then brought it back here. Yep.
A little movement. Just to add a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just like adds a little bit of extra drip and pizzazz. You know?
Exactly.
And then
better.
let's take a look at this drum stack. I'll play it isolated real quick.
Yeah.
And I'll break down what's going on there.
Perfect.
Typical kind of house vibe. This part's fun. So, fun thing about the placement of those claps. One of them comes on the 1 and 2 and 3, bah, and then the other one, dun, 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 bah. They come in on different parts. That was not intentional originally.
Yeah.
My workflow is like trying to make as much happen quickly so that we never lose like the energy and the vibe of like where it's going and just build, and then go back and kind of like whatever little tweaks. After like the first 2 times listening to it, I didn't notice when I copied these claps, they weren't on the same beat every time. I noticed that and I was like, huh.
It's kind of
Is it
awesome.
is it bad, or is it something that like I would have never thought to do that adds like just this extra
Told feel.
to like these things? And so the more I listened to it, the more I was like, sometimes you got to keep like your happy accidents in there.
Yes.
It's like the Bob Ross thing.
Absolutely.
It's like, okay, now that like makes a whole new groove that like I wouldn't have chosen to do if I had been like, oh, that's wrong. I didn't mean to do that. But now it's in there. And I like it because it adds a little extra, because it's a pretty simple thing. It's just like a house groove, but these claps, they happen on different times every single time, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
And just adds that little bit of extra thing. So we have a kick loop here, right? Simple. Keeping it simp. And then we have, wow, we only ended up keeping like one of these kicks as well. We have a lot of different kick ideas here that we ended up keeping in. We have one clap track here. Like a nice big.
Yep.
I added a little bit of saturation and reverb to make it bigger. And then we have the ghost something clap. That's like a big long one. That's the one that comes in every once in a while. That's on the weird beats. Just to make that 4 hit even harder.
Yeah, the tail on that too is something that's a really cool texture for that whole part.
The shaker, you always got to have something that's tick, 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 you know? And this probably has that pump on it. Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Pretty simple. And then that's when the last thing we did is kind of add all these little like
ear
bongo
candy
layers and impacts. So it's a little bongo sample here, and then a big like impact like that they do in dance music.
The way that hits, man, every time. With the little,
so fun.
that yell too, that's worth highlighting. That's something that's pretty iconic too.
We have so many different like random yells in here. I forgot. Yeah. I want to have like the goofiest sounds in there that just keep creating this like, what the heck is going on there?
Right.
So that's really all that's happening in the first one, and a lot of it is carried by that vocal sample. What's going on there? Let me just bring that in.
Yep.
The fucking
Guitars. It's so
I was
good,
like, we
dude.
need some new layer now. And then I'm like, okay, what would the Weeknd do, you know?
Yeah.
Have some Mikey Jackson. And these are just DI guitar, but I'm pretty sure I recorded them through the amp, in the room, which I don't do often, but I was kind of feeling funky. Just double tracked. I think I played them on my Telecaster. Yeah. Harmony. a little hint of what's coming in the bridge.
Yep.
And then I have this fun little do, which is
down.
like, this is like the classic Logic user knows about this.
Yes.
You just do a fade and then you click slow down and it's
So
just like,
good.
do.
We use that on like all 4 of the songs in this EP, I think.
Yeah.
In various ways.
It's just the move right there. That's pretty much all that's different in that verse.
Amazing.
Keeping the pretty much same ideas. Bringing in the clap on the second pre to
Yeah.
like bring up the energy.
Yeah. Make the second pre a little different.
This thing we brought in. Just another little riser to... Also, is this something that you sang? I think it
was.
Is.
Yeah.
What I think it is you sang it and then we harmonized it. It's just a bunch of layers of you singing with a bunch of stuff on it. Just to like add another layer of like fun. Yeah, then we're back to that.
That bass line's insane, dude.
I really love what we did there. Like, as soon as we heard this to the chorus, we're like, oh, we got something.
Yeah.
We got something here. Like every single time I was like,
We
I want
gotta
to
make it
different fill.
Cooler.
Different
Yeah.
fill, add some more fun little things there. And then we try to put back pretty much the same. We keep the sample going.
Yep.
I changed the chords on the synth a little bit just to kind of signify that we're going somewhere else.
Yeah, the main thing of the bridge is like the vocal with the vocoder, which we'll get to when we get to all the vocals.
Yeah. So we had this, and then you were like, oh, I feel like we need to add like a little more guitar to like really tie it in with all the other stuff that we do.
What was really cool is that almost everything in this song we did in those first couple sessions.
Yeah.
It was like first session we got the bones of it, second one we really finished tracking vocals, and then that song was what it was for like a month, and we really didn't change a single thing. It was just the small addition of like, let's add this bridge guitar, and then we just tightened up and added all the mastering sauce and all that.
Yeah.
But really, like, if you hear the first demo to what this is,
everything's
it's all there other than this bridge guitar. And I think
the
that
vocoder part. And
that's a
all of the
testament to
different-
just the zone we were in.
Yeah, we really were just like, let's just do this darn thing. And then this one, yeah, we added some like very emo-y sounding guitars. Pretty nice.
Very nice. Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, so then we bring in those funky guitars again, which is, I feel like this is the part where you really start to get them highlighted in there. Then we got the fun ass fill, which
So
we'll get
good.
to. I want to go on this vocoder.
Yeah.
I was like thinking about this bridge, right? And I remember feeling like, oh, we got to do like some MJ thing that's like, because we're so floaty throughout this. Let's do something that's just like da-da-da-ba, like that's really sharp and staccato-y. That's when this came out. I remember we thought about lyrics. One of the first things that you came up with.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
maybe
it.
I'm just too focused. Like I don't want this.
do
Yeah,
that
that's all it
just
needs
over
to be.
and over, yeah.
It doesn't need to like be some
Lyrical masterpiece.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about creating like that vibe there.
Totally.
So then this is the vocoder.
Maybe I'm just too focused, pretending like I don't want this. Maybe I'm just too focused, pretending like I don't want this. Maybe I'm just too focused, pretending like I don't want this. Maybe I'm just too focused, pretending like I don't want this.
So fun. And then we
We'll
get
get to that.
the
Jesus
note.
Christ vocals.
The Jesus Christ vocals. Yeah, so that was really fun. Like I just played some funky chords on there. And
Yeah, that was
We just
amazing.
used that for his vocoder. We added a couple extra layers of like stepping up vocals to like add some intrigue in there. And then this is my favorite part right here. It's the super saucy fill
Yep.
that happens right here on this percussion stack. Yeah, that was just like, I was like, we need like the most whoa feeling fill that just really stops everything and takes you into this big soaring chorus.
Yeah.
That same tropical EDM like reference of conga bongo type sounds there. And then bigger chorus. The main difference here is this high guitar.
Oh yeah.
Which was originally in both choruses. And that was one of the only things that I changed. I was like, okay, we're giving too much information away. Wait.
Everyone builds.
And yes, so that we bring this one on the last one. That's like super weekendy.
Yeah, and then it just jams it out. Like to finish the song with that is such a cool.
Yeah, same vocal chops, same sounds, some different fills.
Yep.
And then one other thing, which I forgot was in here because I just saw it now. Fuzzy guitars. We added distorted guitars.
That's right.
Like, which is like what? Like some metal stuff.
Yeah.
In there, which is crazy because I feel like a lot of our stuff has some rock references.
Oh, yeah.
Almost everything we've done.
So in fact, we are going to get it, and this one was cool.
So here's what we did. Added a little more grit to like squash it, squeeze it. Little EQ, get it out of the way. And then the pump, which basically makes it just feel like one of the synthesizers. And you put it with this stuff, and it doesn't even feel like electric guitars. It's like a layer that really just elevates this last chorus. It's like noise. Just, that just like
Incredible.
does something.
Yeah, man.
And it does a lot.
Yeah.
Like just to make that last. I did not even remember that we had it in there, but all I know is that this
that
chorus
feeling.
hits.
Yeah, it's just huge.
Hits. Basically what we had was I arranged this to kind of keep going and breaking down. That was like my initial idea of like, what if we just let it jam? Like songs don't like jam out anymore.
Yeah.
If this was playing in the club, you just want it to never end.
Keep vibing.
And what I was feeling was like, let's give people a chance to hear some of these parts that we spent so much time on that you don't get to hear isolated. Almost break down the track. You get the bass and the guitars together. It's like you're soloing stems. You know, like you're remixing your own song. And you're just like, oh, let's go.
Yeah, and then without the little extra bass.
At the end. Yeah.
Damn.
So that's like the meat of what's going on, other than we haven't got to the vocals yet.
Yeah, that's amazing, man.
Just like all these little things that just really bring stuff together.
Like the vocal sample we did, the pitch down vocal, don't wanna focus on you. Even though that's technically part of it, it like feels more like it part of the instrumental than it does any of the like a vocal part.
Totally. I feel like we got to look at that when that chorus hits, like what's happening right there, because that's the oh shit moment when you get to that hook and you see
100%
that, and like we heard that from the minute you sang that thing. Like no, and I was like, I don't know what it's gonna be, but I know this is gonna work somehow.
Exactly.
So we just tried to like give every single one a slightly different sauce, so that it kept being interesting.
Indecision, tunnel vision. Don't wanna focus on you now, cause then I'd have to blur you. There's no version of us now.
Left and right action.
That wouldn't fade away somehow.
Focus on you.
Okay. So some fun tricks happening here. This is what you sang normal. Don't want to focus on you now.
Don't wanna focus on you now.
That's all you sang when we did it.
Blur you out.
You just sang all the lines, just like pretty normal like that. And then I grabbed it, just cut it up and repeated it. On the first now, we put over the top compression, which is just extreme compression, some room on it so it just sounds really far away from you. That LFO tool.
Focus on you now.
And like I didn't want it to be smooth. I wanted it to feel like you're hitting it on like an MPC or something where it's like super stuttery and like fake sounding. Yeah. Because that's like part of that robot feel of like, whoa, Drake Sprite commercial. Right now. Your face is just opening.
All deconstructing, just opening up.
On you now. Cause then I'd have to blur you.
So that one is only slightly different. We put Little Altar Boy on it and just changed the format, which is like, hello, hello, hello. Like, it's not the pitch, but it's like the tone of voice. Yep. So that one we lowered slightly, so it was like a little different.
Cause then I'd have to blur you.
This one we just
There's
left
no
and right.
version of us that wouldn't fade away somehow.
And then we just doubled this part with an octave up with Little Altar Boy.
Gonna focus on you.
And then that one's just hella pitched down with a little bit of drive and then some widening on it to like make it really draw the attention. This high tone and that low tone just come in again during the choruses. Like, it's like the chipmunk and the robot. Like vibe. Just like add some fun stuff, and like that's kind of just some simple little tricks that like make those choruses feel like interesting, and your vocals almost like specifically out of focus, like making everything sound far away or like weird and messed up. I feel like really helped drive in the theme of like what we're talking about, like everything's kind of blurry and distorted feeling. That part's really cool. We gotta check out the Jesus Christ vocal. So as you can see, it's called Jesus Christ vocals because he went for some wild note.
Yeah, and that just made James go like, Jesus Christ.
But it's so good.
Like I don't want this.
And it's just we throw some Padman just to like make it kind of distort a little bit into it, you know, and that just like adds so much high energy to this last chorus. I feel like we're really going there.
Pretending like I don't want this.
Just adding that human element back into it. So sick.
To be able to highlight the verse vocals and
I think we should play that second one like right before all those cool harmonies, because I feel like the way that we arranged those harmony ideas were just like, whoa.
It's beautiful.
Stuck here dreaming we were close across the ocean. You know I'd go 1,000 miles for you.
A lot of like weaving of the vocals.
When I wake up and I get back my composure, I come to terms with what I always knew. I think my heart's
we forgot about those little all of you. It's just those things we really like to play with, the spaces in the songs, and finding ways to like have these little throws that just add a little extra emotion to like where your words linger. You leave so much space, so like finding like a little throw that like echoes into the distance. Like that one I really like.
1,000 miles for you.
That one we didn't do it, but
when I wake up and I get back my composure, I come to terms with what I always knew. I think my heart's addicted to the finish line. Let go of expectations for a simple life. Now I feel like I'm still reaching for the light. Intuition, tunnel vision, don't wanna focus on you.
Now, what's really cool about that is one thing that I've been trying to do more is not harmony for harmony's sake. Right? I feel like it's really easy to want to just, it'll sound better if there's harmonies. Because more is more.
Right.
You know, but I don't think that's always true. There's like a level of realness and emotion to having a single vocal. And if you're doing harmonies, it should be because you want to draw more attention to like the words that you're saying or the emotion of how you're saying it.
Right.
So we didn't just like stack thirds, right? Where you just sang the same thing but 3 parts up. We were like, okay, how can we weave these vocals that are kind of doing these different counter melodies that really just take you to these different places. So instead of going, hearts addicted to the finish line, we're like, hearts addicted to the finish line, where your vocals are going all over the place.
Hearts addicted to the finish line. Let go of expectations for a simple life. Now I
Can we
feel
solo
like
all the harms?
These two right here.
Yeah.
So these are.
Hearts addicted to the finish line.
So we have one pedaling. Hearts addicted to the finish line. Then we have one that's stepping down. Na, 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 na. Just very atypical.
To the finish line. Expectations for a simple life.
The high
Feel
one.
like I'm still reaching for the light.
got a 3-parter there.
Crazy. That's fully this maestro over here. James is not only an incredible vocal coach, but also has this understanding of how to like bring the listener into a song in a way that you wouldn't expect, but that brings you this deeper feeling. Because again, you expect just whatever the third is or whatever the basic harmony is. And so for that, it was really dope to be able to, I could see myself in real time improving as a musician with the understanding of these things, but then also being able to adapt to your vocal coaching to hit these moments that gave this verse and the rest of the song that extra texture that it needs. And so that's probably one of my favorite parts of this year, is being able to work with people who can push me in ways that I wouldn't normally try and push myself. You believed in me that I can do these things and that I can get there. For some of these, it was so counterintuitive to my brain. I was fighting it a little bit, but you always were just like, no, bro, you got this. Like, just keep going. You got this. Helping me walk through each of the notes sometimes, or playing it on the keys. And so to be able to have that and then hear what these became is just amazing, man. So thank you, for real.
You definitely pushed yourself a lot on this song. And I think these vocals are definitely some of the best that we've done so far. They really feel just like the exact right emotion for it, and just like the level of just precision on the execution of like really getting in the song, but also singing it to a high quality. All of these stacks like just feeling beautiful, like to listen by themselves, or beautiful to listen together. Like it's like just,
wanna focus. I
so
think
good.
my heart's addicted to the finish line.
Like,
Let go of expectations for a simple life. Now I feel like I'm still reaching for the light. Intuition, tunnel vision. Don't wanna focus on you now.
We did it. We did the thing.
Amazing.
Yeah, like as soon as we like finished the demo of the song, I was like,
whoa,
yo, this is we have something
really
something
special.
awesome.
Yeah.
I love this song. I love listening to the song still. I struggle so much with listening back to old mixes. I'm like, I'm gonna hear something I could have done better, so I can't ever listen to it again, because I'm constantly, and it's a good thing, because you're constantly growing, right? And being like, I could have, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're gonna make new music. You're gonna make better music.
Always.
You're gonna make a better song always. So you gotta let things be. That's part of the beauty of this process. Is you could have easily worked with this on me with no intention of releasing it in the next year.
Yeah.
And maybe it wouldn't be this. Maybe it would be some thing that we picked apart for 6 months and kept redoing the vocals and thinking we could have done better.
Right.
And becoming something that, we were proud of, but maybe doesn't represent the feeling of when we were so into this song and in love with it that we could never mess it up, because we know exactly what it means to us in that moment. It wasn't just that we did it in one session. It was like the intention was, hey, we're going to release this song in a month.
Yeah.
And there was no song. There's all the writing, the synthesizer, every single part of this didn't exist until we got in a room for 4 hours, and then most of it existed. And then the next time we got together,
we finished the second verse and laid the vocals.
Yeah.
So
and
it was like
the
whole bones of the song were done day one. We came in a few days later, finished the whole thing, and that was the demo that we showed a lot of our friends that they were like freaking out about. And that was, I think, what gave us that extra level of like, we felt really special about the record. But then once we got other people, musicians and non-musicians alike, to freak out about this song, it was kind of like, oh, okay, we do have something as special as we felt. And now to see it hasn't even been out for 2 weeks. It's jumped up into my top 5 quicker than any song this year, even quicker than songs like Erase or some of my some of the other songs that we've made. It was so cool to see that be so well received off rip, and I feel like we're just getting started with where this song can go. And it's one of those ones that even people who aren't musicians or producers or artists, everybody's told me, they're like, that's the one. And so, it's crazy. We never know like what's the one, but we had a really strong feeling like this, like we had a strong feeling with Erase.
Like, we just love listening to it over and over. So it's like, I think it's great to be able to make something in a small amount of time and like let it be what it is. Yeah. And listening back to it, being like, no, there's literally 0 things that I would have done differently listening back to this. Yeah. And like, I can just listen to it, not be like, okay, I hope this bass is as hard as I remember, or like that transition, or did I get that vocal tuning exactly right? Being able to listen to it in the room, and every single time I've heard it, be like, oh, we cooked on this one. That's not something that I experience often. Yeah. Letting it be what it is for where you are in a point in time is like, this is a snapshot of us in July 2025.
Yeah.
And like we can look back at it next year and be like, that's where we
really
were.
did
That's
that.
what we did.
Exactly.
We'll definitely be better musicians and
Of course.
engineers and producers and singers like next year.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we could have done this song any better.
No,
you know,
man.
like
This song is exactly what it was supposed to be.
So I love that. I love this song.
Yeah.
I hope more and more people listen to it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just like there's a lot to take like from this song in terms of all these little fun things that we did.
Well, it opened up a new world, I think, to what like a Gemini song could be.
Yeah.
And I think it was really beautiful, like hearing it in this very pop forward production, but that there's so many elements of whether it's R&B influences or even some of rock influences that we kind of infused into every song on this EP. And that's what I love, man. Is I love the phrase melting pop. And I think that like this EP was very melting pop.
Yeah.
It's all pop leaning, but then there are so many elements of R&B and rock and alternative and things like that that we put into this pot, swirled it around until we got something that we felt like was really singular and really special and unique to us. And so to be able to have it now in the form of this song and songs like Can't Help Myself, You're the One, Superman, like all those songs that make up this EP and ending it with Focus, just felt like a really dope, cohesive body of work that showcases that the culmination of all of our influences. And then also how much more comfortable we had gotten with each other's processes after making a whole 4-song EP, working on a lot of projects together, and then also just like hanging out outside of the studio and becoming like movie buddies and just all those kinds of things that made this process so seamless that it was like the moment I had a vocal melody, you were like, yep, that's it. We were so in tune. It makes me really excited for what we do with the next project because we were able to make all 4 of these songs in like a month.
Yeah.
And so
wild.
To see that on the back of what we had done before, I'm like, whoa, what the next 4 or album or whatever we do next is going to be off of now this. I think is just super exciting. Before we wrap up, I just wanted to, for all the nerds out there, we recorded this on the Townsend Lab mics, which if you want to go into detail about that too, and maybe even play like the first verse vocal so you can just hear my kind of vocal on its own, I think that would be kind of a cool note. And if you want to talk about details of the mic and why we used it too.
Yeah, this mic is a microphone because it is a modeling mic. Basically uses a plugin to imitate other popular mics. So instead of having to buy like 10 different microphones, you can use like a plugin to change the tone of the mic to sound closer to other ones, and we just love the way it sounds on your voice, which is funny that we did the first album on the 7.
We really did. So we made a race on this exact microphone that I'm talking into right now, which is kind of funny.
And it wasn't out of like, oh, I want to use this microphone.
Yeah.
These are the ones that are kind of demo ready, good to go, always set up. To our, surprise, I didn't know how this process was going to go. We ended up getting stuff that we loved so much on the demo days that we're like, okay, we're recording the EP on the 7B because those vocals sounded good and I wouldn't change a thing. So for this one, I was like, okay, because I know how we are, I'm gonna have a condenser set up even for when we're doing demos, just in case we hit the money, and we did. So we ended up doing condensers for this. You just get more information out of it. Very
well, because we started with the Bieber influence. I think that was part of the reason too. Why you were like, that's the Bieber.
Did all this stuff on the condenser. But I'll play back.
Just
what we have here.
First verse.
Literally, look at what the vocal is called. The first 2 vocal takes are called. They're called scratch vocal.
No way.
Because we did those first 2
and we just
on the
them.
day, and we comped probably some other stuff.
Yeah.
But the first 2 things are called scratch.
That's special,
like
man.
whatever, take 11 or whatever on the very first time you tried to sing this song. That's just pretty rad.
Wow.
I have to try to limit my exposure to emotion. I get so caught up in the thought of you. When somebody pulls me close enough to know me, I start to lose a focused point of view. I keep my eyes fixated on the finish line. No need for expectations, they ain't worth my time. Kinda feel like I'm still on the borderline. Indecision,
amps up as we go on.
Tunnel vision, don't wanna focus on you.
That's another point that I want to make. We didn't talk too much about lyrics, just kind of overall theme, but that part specifically I love, and maybe is one of my favorite underrated parts of the song. How in the first verse, it starts with indecision, tunnel vision, and then the next time we say that line, it goes to intuition, tunnel vision.
Yeah, just that slight little change to like change the meaning of it. I'm a big fan of little lyrical changes that flip the meaning without rewriting the whole
Exactly.
thing.
And that was just like a cool way of evolving in the course of this narrative of the song. I've realized that I am staying focused on what I want. And I should trust my intuition a little bit more and not be so indecisive about X, Y, and Z thing that I'm seeing on my left and right and what everybody else is doing. But I should trust that intuition, stay true to that, and keep that tunnel vision on. Not in a sense of, oh, I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna pick one thing and go. But now I'm like, no, I know exactly where I want to go, and I have the map of that, and I have a great crew of people to help me get there. So trust your intuition, trust the team that you have around you, and keep that tunnel vision and just go. We're about to drop song 34 of the year. That couldn't have happened without that level of focus and tunnel vision and without a great team. That's what's been really cool about this process, which I think how I'll wrap up from my point of view is, like I said it a little bit earlier, for us to do part 2 together this year was really special. And I think kicking it off with us working together was really amazing as well. Just because of how much closer we've gotten since we made the first songs when we really didn't know each other at all. And to go from there, make a body of work we're really proud of, and then, really hang out and become good friends, to then how do we one-up ourselves, but not try to repeat what we did, but do something totally different. That approach has gotten everybody else, all the other guys that I'm working with this year, so excited. And at my birthday, we got everybody together and we played that Focus demo, and everybody was just freaking out. And when Nick and I got back into working together, Jay and I have been working together, all of that has been that same level of how do we do something bigger and better and more exciting and unlock new things. And as I'm now working with the whole rest of the crew for the year, it's that same theme. And I think that us kicking it off with this way was really important, and it was a lot of fun. Again, it gave us 4 songs that I'm really proud of, but Focus in particular, I'm over the moon. So I'm just grateful for the team. I'm grateful for the approach this year, grateful for the focus and tunnel vision that we've applied to make this project happen. And especially just, in reflecting on this song, very grateful for you and your vision on this whole thing, man. It's something I'm just beyond proud of.
Me too, man. Yeah. This stuff is amazing, and it makes me really excited to dive into more songs with, not that we need it, but more time and different approaches and different goals.
Totally.
And just like make some music, because I think we just make good music together.
I agree, brother. Sweet, man. Well, I think that's a wrap on Focus, the breakdown for you. We really hope you enjoyed watching this and seeing us nerd out about all these things, and I hope you learned something and feel inspired. And go listen to the Junction EP, go listen to the Justice EP, and we're super proud of that and excited to do more of these and to make more music for you as well. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Superman.
Spider-Man.
Batman.
Oh, God.
Sweet. All right, cool.
Maybe I'm just too focused, pretending like I don't want this. Maybe I'm just too focused, pretending like